Welcome to the Veterinary Rehabilitation Podcast, where we aim to help fellow veterinary rehab therapists increase their knowledge and elevate their practice. I'm Megan Kelly.
And I'm Anae Lloyd. Together, we bring you the latest insights, research, and information in the field of veterinary rehabilitation.
This podcast is brought to you by Onlinepethealth, a leading continuing education membership for veterinary rehabilitation therapists. With Onlinepethealth, you'll have access to a wide range of online resources to help you stay up to date with the latest techniques, advances, and trends in the industry.
Our podcast features in-depth conversations with leading experts in veterinary rehabilitation. They share their own experiences and knowledge to help you improve your practice. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out in the field, our goal is to provide you with the tools and the insights you need to succeed.
So join us as we explore the exciting world of veterinary rehabilitation and help you take your practice to the next level. Hey Vetrehabbers, we are all still buzzing with excitement from our annual online veterinary rehabilitation conference, the Vetrehabber Summit. If you missed it on August the 31st, don't worry, you can still catch the recordings if you registered. They're available until September the 30th. And if you're an Onlinepethealth member, you get lifetime access to them in the membership. Now, I want you guys to mark your calendars for November the 8th next year because we've already decided on the theme and we are working on some brand new exciting content that you don't want to miss. So next year's Vetrehabber Summit will be on November the 8th. Now, our amazing online community of Vetrehabbers from all over the world gathers in our Facebook groups. And if you haven't joined yet, I want you to head over to Facebook and request to be a part of the action. I will put the links in the podcast description. Our groups include small animal Vetrehabbers, equine Vetrehabbers, hydro Vetrehabbers, and business Vetrehabbers. This one is for those of you that are juggling patient care and running your own practices. Now, we regularly share tips, advice, and host live sessions there with experts to support you on your rehab journey. So in today's episode, I had a fantastic conversation with Elizabeth Hack about her new book, Fetch More Clients. Elizabeth is a pet business coach who specializes in helping you grow your business by attracting new clients and keeping the ones you have. She also shared 2 valuable business basics trainings with our Onlinepethealth members, Overcome Objections Like a Boss and 90-Day Resets. But before we dive into my chat with Elizabeth, a quick word from our sponsor. Curical Vet is owned by Nada Robinson. She first developed her courses at the Colorado State University, where she started the Medical Acupuncture for Veterinarian Certificate program in 1998. In so doing, Dr. Robinson developed a science-based platform for veterinary acupuncture, the first of its kind. Today, Curical Vet offers a comprehensive curriculum in integrative medicine with a rational, evidence-supported foundation, and you can find courses like medical acupuncture, photomedicine, botanical medicine, medical massage, and integrative rehabilitation. You can discover Curical Vet at curical.org. Now, I really love this chat with Elizabeth, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Hey, Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about our chat today.
Elizabeth, won't you introduce yourself to the listeners and just tell them about the journey of how you are where you are today?
Oh, it's a long one. So I'm Elizabeth Hack. I'm an international business coach, facilitator, and expert speaker. I've been helping canine professionals market and grow their business for a long time now, but really where it started was when I was a little girl. I used to run around on my hands and feet and used to scratch my head with my foot. I've always been passionate about dogs. It's always been my biggest driver. And unfortunately, I can't scratch my head with my foot anymore. But what I've lacked in flexibility, I've gained in knowledge over the years. I've had quite an amazing journey when it comes to learning and growing with animals and my education in business. So I went to an animal college, of course, it had to be done. And then I was very blessed that I ended up in a corporate company that was training you how to become a dog groomer with a qualified. So I'm a City and Guilds qualified dog groomer, and that was with the amazing Julie Harris. She's like one of the big names in dog grooming. Like I still idolize her to this day. And I was a manager within my salon at 21 years old. So I had all these big responsibilities, and it was only after the fact that so my business, my salon was one of the top producers in the company, but some things I did was things like weekly meetings with my team. We had our goals and our targets written out on a whiteboard out the back, and we had a strategy on how we were going to get the amount of dogs through the door in the day to hit our targets, to get more money, really. And that was back in the day where I didn't realize I was doing sales and marketing and running an effective business. I was just passionate about what I did and thought it was really logical to make sure everyone knows about it. So after leaving there, I went over to Australia because I wanted to travel. And that's where my marketing and sales journey began. I really landed on my feet, and it was through a mutual connection within the canine world. There's always connections, isn't there? You never know who meeting one person could lead you to. So the wonderful Belinda Morris said, "Oh, you're going to Australia. You should work for," and it was a gym marketing company called CFM. She used to train the now director of this business. And that's where I learned all of my skills and how to market and grow a business within 6 weeks. So we do these marketing drives, which show up to this gym that's unknown. These are like small independent gyms. And within 6 weeks, we would run these huge marketing campaigns that drew people to the business. And I'm still in touch with business owners that I ran that for 12 years ago, with people in the local community still reaching out to them going, "Oh my God, do you remember when you had all of that, those open days and that person dressed up as a minion on the side of the road and the big balloon on top of your building?" We made such a big local impact because these are small towns. And I got to do that for 3.5 years all around Australia, New Zealand and England, and even Scotland. I got to Glasgow in Scotland as well. And it just proved that no matter what location you're in, yes, sometimes you need to tweak. If you've got a set methodology to attract people to your business, it works. After that point, I landed on my feet, and I landed in a chiropractic business, and I implemented what I'd learned through my years in the chiropractic world. And I went on to be an international business coach for hundreds of chiropractors. And so this strategy and structure has worked across the world. I've also launched dog grooming salons in Australia, dog cafes in the UK. And it's just phenomenal. I just love serving people, and I love serving the people that serve dogs, because the more that I can look after those people, the more dogs to the world we can look after. So it's so amazing to bring all of my knowledge and package it and bring it right back to where my heart is, back to our niche.
So I can really hear in your voice just how passionate you are about this, and it's amazing. It's lovely. I love it. I myself am actually someone who loves marketing too, and I don't often find people who are similar to me. So most of the veterinary rehabilitation therapists and vets that are my colleagues and friends, that's like the one thing that they really hate. They hate the marketing side of things. They just wish that they could just treat the patients. And so when I get all excited about this, they're like, "Oh, Meg, stop getting so excited about this. Is like the one thing we really don't like to do it." But I think it's just that there's a lack of knowledge. So I love this idea of the 6-week program that you've done for all these chiropractics and gyms and things like that. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later. But before we do that, the people that you're serving now, are they people that have just got primary pet businesses?
Yes, absolutely. So vet physios seem to love what we're doing. So here at Canine Care Hub, my aim is to look after canine professionals, because obviously back to the passion with dogs. But with the clients that I've been looking after, lots of which are vet physios, they are really seeing big differences in their worlds at this point. And I've even helped vet physios in Dubai now. So it's great. And it just instills that belief that I know that with the right structure, strategy, and your confidence in your own business and your own worth, that you can market yourself effectively with heart and not be a sleazy salesperson in the process.
What are the biggest struggles that they are having at the moment, those vet physios that you're working with?
Yeah, overwhelm, burnout, and always having to attract more clients to their business. So, we get an animal in for treatment, it lasts for a certain amount of time, and then hopefully they're well and they get to move on. But then it's, how do we fill that gap for our business, for that future, and have that confidence in the income that's coming to them, and the confidence to put themselves out there that they are really amazingly qualified to look after these animals, and they are an alternate option, and a great option for pets of their local community.
And where's the overwhelm coming from? What are they overwhelmed by?
Usually it's marketing. It's thinking, all right, I've got to do, I'm hands-on with this animal for this time, then I've got to get my notes done after that. And then at the end of the night, oh good, I've got to think about a Facebook post I need to get on. Like how do I keep people in the mindset that I'm around, and having the energy to constantly market throughout the year to fill that need for them.
Yeah, I mean, it is tricky because we, as vet rehab therapists or vet physios, we work super long hours. So like our consultations are so much longer than other professionals, sometimes even up to an hour and a half. If you're seeing a few patients per day, then you got to, like you say, like write your notes. And before you know it, it's like night time, and it should be like your rest time, your downtime, your time with family. So what tends to happen is all those administrative and marketing, tasks that you're supposed to do get pushed to the side, and you prioritize the patients. And then they obviously are worrying that, they're not doing it because there's no time for it. And what are the biggest mistakes that you see them making? So, I mean, some of them are obviously doing things, and how do you redirect them?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things is people try to appeal to too many people at once. They make a generic advert going, I can look after pets. Whereas when you can define who your target market is and who lights you up, because who you think would be good for you is fine, but the difference is your mindset. If you open your diary and you go, yes, it's Gracie and the Smiths today, then your whole energy about your day goes forward. So I'm all about joy, profit, and fulfillment at Canine Care Hub. And the way to do that is to fill your own cup with clients that you adore. What type of dogs do you like? So one of my coaching clients, Gemma, she loves elderly Labradors. And who is elderly Labradors owned by? Usually older couples. So then you want to market yourself to those people, because they're going to be looking in different places than the young couple that you might love who's got a beagle that you want to get your hands on, So it's about switching up your marketing and focusing on who you want to bring into your business, because it fills your cup, it makes you more happy when you see them, and then it's going to give you more energy to do more of it. Whereas if you just, it's called in marketing spraying and praying, going, I can just look after dogs, then by trying to be something to everyone, you're nothing to anyone.
Yeah.
So actually getting really specific, and I talk about this in my book, getting specific on who it is you want to attract into your business is kind of the quickest way to help direct where you're going with this and to bring in who you need for your soul.
Yeah, so we were talking before the podcast and about your 6-week program, and excitingly, you've actually written a book about this, especially for pet business owners. So why don't you tell us about the book and then dive a little bit into that 6-week program so we can get an idea about it.
Absolutely. So the book is called Fetch More Clients, Effectively Market and Grow Your Canine Business in 6 weeks. And this book, I have simplified business and marketing to the nth degree. I just want to get you results and these tips and tricks. And the way I've created it is that you can dive into any chapter and go and implement it in your business and you'll make a difference. However, if you put them all together and do them in the 6-week plan, as I have experienced, you will get an influx to your business. And typically the results are you can get a year's worth of clients in 6 weeks, or the impact that will result in clients that will come in for the next year in 6 weeks. Because if you could elevate yourself as the go-to expert in your area, then what's going to happen when the next dog has a knee injury? Oh, I remember that vet physio down the road was marketing. Let me go and speak to her. It's not about conquering the world. It's about being a local expert and putting yourself out and communicating with heart and with love, because I truly believe anyone that's in this industry does it for the love of animals. So when it comes to marketing, that love needs to come forward and through. And so the book, hilariously, when I first started writing it, I wanted to call it L Hacks Business Hacks because to play on my surname. But throughout the book, I do give in little L's hacks, which are my little input to a new mindset, a new way of approaching this. So I do go through business basics at the start of the book to help you hone in where you're going to market and grow your business. And then we get straight into the meat, into the last chapters, about what strategies you're going to go and implement, such as having stands at local events. So my local village is the village of Overton. It's pretty glorious. And we've got an event called the Overton Sheep Fair, and it happens every 4 years. And to have a stand on the Overton Sheep Fair strip, that would be really stand out in our community. There was actually a dog trainer that was there, but no vet physios. And I was like, come on, like, it's about having stands, because you don't know what impact talking to one person in that community could lead to. It's about that ripple effect. And by having the right energy, the right mindset, and by putting yourself out there in the way that you are ethically and heart-led serving animals, is how you grow. And I explain it all in the book. It's exciting.
Yeah, and you said something earlier about this is not about conquering the world, you know, and I love this sort of focus on local and the community, because, you know, that's really where your initial clients are going to come from, depending on how many competitors you have. But, you know, it's the people all around you. So, yeah, I love those ideas. And I mean, is there social media advice in the book, or is this like how many things that you would do like in person?
So yes, that is one thing. Of course, social media is amazing. But the whole point behind social media is to be social. So social media will by far accelerate the processes. However, in my book, I don't go into social media, because I know how much of an impact that you can make in person, and you can make yourself stand out. I also don't see anyone else that's practicing in your area as a competitor, because when you know who you want to attract into your business, and there's more than enough dogs to go around. I know there is in my area for sure. So by being able to focus on what makes you top dog and how you best serve, rather than worrying about what the others do in and around you, that's how you're going to win and grow.
Is there any other sort of like top marketing advice that you could give our Vetrehabbers?
Yes, for sure. The biggest thing is, if you can consolidate your effort over a small amount of time, and I'm saying effort on purpose, this isn't 6 weeks of half-assed in doing it. This is actual effort where you are everywhere. The whole point of this multifaceted approach is that when they look in their local newsletter, when in their mailbox, when they see it, they do see it on social media, when they're in the post office and they see your campaign up, no matter where they turn, they go, okay, I get it. I know who you are. That if you get people almost eye rolling, going, oh, it's her again, then you have made it. That effort versus spreading yourself thin over the course of the year can make a huge swing in your business. Bringing those people through, because all we want to do is serve and look after the dogs. We're not doing anything unethical here. We're just trying to bring more dogs so we can get our incredible therapies in their world so that they can live pain-free. I think it's a pretty amazing reason to push hard and bring clients to you.
Yeah, I love that, because I mean, as you say, is that one of the things is that, you know, our Vetrehabbers are so overwhelmed, you know, to do things on a consistent basis with the marketing just seems for them like something that is just not achievable. And what they end up doing actually is posting like inconsistently. So they'll have periods where they're really good and they'll post on social media and they'll do a lot of things, and then, you know, they'll be overrun by patients or like just too much on the go, and then they'll forget for another week or 2 or 3 weeks, and then they'll post again. And the problem with that inconsistent marketing is that they're not actually having a massive impact. Like, people are not like, it's just a little bit here, a little bit there. And you know, what you describe in the 6-week program is a little bit like, you know, and obviously because you're writing a book, it just makes me think, when somebody launches and starts selling a book, you know, what do? They literally are everywhere. They're on the TV, they're on podcasts, they're on the radio, they're on social media. It's everywhere. So you suddenly just be seeing everything about this book, right? And so this is your suggestion, and I really am. I'm excited to read this book because it's really, I think it's really going to be something that is going to work for a lot of vet rehabbers, and they can actually just book off some time and say, this 6 weeks, we're going to pump it, right? And they could even do the 6 weeks twice a year if they wanted, so they could have 2 periods twice a year. We just pump the 6 weeks. And not that they don't do anything the rest of the time. They can carry on doing their inconsistent marketing throughout the time. You can't just do the 6 weeks and then stop completely, but you don't have to be as consistent because you've really had an impact in that time. And what I really love about it is that it really taps into the word of mouth when you bring the local and the community. And actually, if you think about it, a lot of our vet physios and vet rehabbers, if you ask them where do they get their clients from, they'll say the majority are from word of mouth. And I actually chat about this a lot on the podcast. And there is a way in which to actually be intentional about word of mouth. And this sounds like what your 6-week program is. It's like an intentional way of getting yourself out there for people to actually talk about you. And your suggestion of like a balloon on top of the building or whatever, the linear, whatever, actually reminds me of a book called Talk Triggers. Have you ever read it?
I've not.
Yeah, you
must read it. Need to add to my list.
Yeah, I think it's Jim Bauer. But it's called Talk Triggers, and it's about intentional word of mouth. So it's about doing something intentionally that gets people to talk about you. And it has to be something that's out of the normal, So like, for example, a balloon, like a massive balloon on top of a building, everyone's going to be like, what is that balloon about, and then people will talk about it and they'll be like, oh, that's the new vet physio that just opened up, and then so it's intentional, like you're doing something intentionally to actually get them basically to talk about you. And then the person will be like, oh, there's a vet physio in town now. I've actually got a dog that's got a problem. I wonder if they could help. And then the conversation carries on. So it's sometimes that conversation wouldn't happen unless there was that intentional talk trigger.
Definitely. And there's definitely that marching parade of interest. Like you may not be the person that client needs at that stage whilst you're doing it, but 4 months later, their dog does something and they'll go, I remember, let's go see Meg down the road. And when it comes to the intentional word of mouth as well, something that I run as part of these 6 weeks is a referral incentive for the current clients too. So that's a win-win. Like this, what I love about this is no matter who you are on the journey, you're winning in some capacity. So if you're a current client, you can be part of the excitement of the 6 weeks. And I always talk about giving them cash. Bring someone in that starts on this, and you'll get a £10 in your pocket. I've tested it with multiple different prizes and people still love money. But again, it's like, how can we reach as many people in this local community in as many different ways as possible, so that when the time is there that they need us, that we are front of mind.
Yeah, love it. So obviously you helping, pet professionals do many different things in their businesses. And we actually connected, it must have been about like 6 months ago or so. And I think it was one of the vet rehabbers that had recommended that I chat to you. And you've done 2 business basics for us. So for the listeners on Onlinepethealth membership, we have a business basics area. And we get loads of different professionals and coaches, and they come and they share their advice and their tips. And Elizabeth actually did 2 for us. So why don't you share with us just quickly, so for those that are members and those that are wanting to be members, exactly what your training was about.
Absolutely. So training number 1 is overcoming objections like a boss. Do you ever get sweaty when someone says, oh, I don't want to book in right now, I don't have my diary? Do you feel like you're weird when it comes to handling that? What's the best way to approach that without sounding like a sleazy salesperson and staying in rapport with the client, most importantly? Well, listen to the training and I'll tell you all about it. I've got a support toolkit as well with that, which is like a little poster you can keep side by you. So you're like, I'm going to follow these objection list. It also works in your own home life. So, handy from both business and home. And the second training is all about 90-day resets. So when you've brought people to your business, when you've been awesome at the sales conversation, how do you maintain and run your business so that you don't hit burnout and overwhelm, so that you've got set goals and you can check in with yourself and your team so that everyone knows what they're meant to be doing, where they're going, so that your business is like a sled dog being pulled forwards rather than herding cats. Anyone ever feel like that in business? Yeah. Well, a 90-day reset is a way to bring everyone back together and pulling forwards in the same direction. And in this training, it was really hard to fit it into 30 minutes for you. I give the agenda, the how-tos. I've got a whole support pack, which literally lays out, it's like an idiot's guide, step by step, what you do, at what time, when you take a break, etc. Because I go out and facilitate these meetings myself. So I know the best way to get the best, every ounce of juice out of a day, out of your business, to get the best out of your business in the forwards. So it's been proven that we can't think forwards more than 90 days. So by resetting every 90 days is how, no matter where you are in business right now, you can keep your momentum going and building for your business.
Yeah, I love those trainings. And the objections one, I think, is one where, like you say, we just sometimes don't know what to say when somebody says that. So yeah, if you're an Online Pet Health member, go and check those awesome trainings out. And if you're not a member, you can sign up and you can go into the business basics area. So Elizabeth, where can we get the book? Obviously at the time now of recording, it's still not available, but you've got a list, right, where people can sign up to get notified as soon as it is available.
That's right. You can join the priority list. So that's going to be in the description on here. You can also check out my website, caninecarehub.com. And as soon as the book is available, you can get on there, but you can get on the pre-list right now. And I'm so excited for the launch. To get this in as many hands as we can so that we can up level and provide confidence to canine professionals all around the world. Like, this is my biggest asset. I'm so excited for it, and I hope you get good takeaways from it when you go get it.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And if you're listening to this after the launch, what date is that going to be?
26th of September. But you want to get part of the pre-launch if you can, because there's lots of extra bonuses and a discount.
Okay, awesome. So, but if you are listening to this and it's after the 26th of September, then you can also just check the description of this podcast and we will have a link to actually purchase the book. Otherwise, you can go straight to Elizabeth's website. Elizabeth,
straight to Amazon. So whichever country you're in, you're covered.
And I've checked the cover. Elizabeth showed me the cover, sneaky little preview. It looks so cool. So super exciting. So yeah, all the best with the launch. And Elizabeth, thank you so much for your time and for sharing all your knowledge. Super excited to get the book. I'm going to put my name down on the wait list.
Thank you very much. I'm here to serve. And thank you to everyone that puts their time out for the dogs of the world.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time I load a new podcast. I'm here every week talking to vet rehab therapists from all over the world about all things vet rehab. A big thanks to our sponsor, Curacao Vet. Their sponsorship allows us to be able to give this podcast to you for free, so please go and check them out at curacao.org. Please also don't forget to bookmark the next Vet Rehab Summit. It's on Saturday the 8th of November in 2025. Come and be a part of the world's largest online veterinary rehabilitation conference created specifically for you, the Vet Rehabber community. Online Pet Health members, you get VIP complimentary access to the Vet Rehab Summit. For more information about continuing education for vet rehabbers, you can go to onlinepethealth.com.